fintech space is heating up, and taking the bull by the horns is none other than Bengaluru-based Zeta. Set up just 2 years ago, this company offers meal vouchers, medical reimbursements, gift cards, gadget cards, amongst others, and has a user base of nearly 1 lakh now, spread over 11 cities. I caught up with its co-founder and CTO, Ramki Gaddipati, earlier. Take a listen to this interview. Ramki, thanks very much for speaking with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow. Let's start by talking about Zeta Technologies. Very briefly, run us through the model for our viewers.
So when we started Zeta, what we felt was that, okay, the digital payments are going to be the norm of the industry as the basic norm that for all payments in the country, or that's the direction that the country will be going ahead in. This is way back in 2015. April 1st of 2015 is when we started, and we embarked on a journey assuming that digital is already the norm. Okay, so that is like we are not trying to solve a problem of making the payments digital, but what should happen once the payments are digital? What is the real value of digitizing payments? Is there a value within or value beyond digitization? And that's the thought process with which we have started Zeta. Zeta is supposed to deliver a lot more value in digitizing payments with a digitized payment than just making the payment happen.
Now, how's the fact that you're primarily a technology company helped you to be able to have a partnership with service providers? Has that been an advantage for you or a challenge? And just walk us through really how having a technology platform primarily has worked for you.
That's certainly being a technology provider is the biggest advantage that we have. Like when we just look at our industry, especially the payment industry, okay, there are lots of industries that are dependent on payments. In fact, every business depends on payments. Okay, so if we just can actually enable those businesses function well by digitizing their payments or transactions and adding more value by doing so, by increasing efficiencies or by increasing even the top line in several cases. Okay, if we can deliver that, it's a massive advantage to all the businesses. Payments is a horizontal play, and the way you need to play, at least the way we have seen that the way we need to play that game is by being an enabler for everyone, and therefore technology is the most important thing that we relied upon.
Demonetization, of course, is the other big talking point. How has that worked? Would the move to digital payment solutions then have worked regardless of demonetization? Most people that we speak with, Ramki, say that the move would have happened regardless, but over a period of time. Do you think that perhaps we should have allowed the ecosystem to take the time it needed?
Absolutely, I agree with the view, but no one can actually quantify the extent of spur that demonetization has caused. It's a wake-up call, and I don't think some of the industries that have adopted digitization at the pace that they have adopted would have been possible without such a massive move from the government. Whether or not RBI has benefited or otherwise, I don't know about that aspect of it. It's the jury is out for that. But I think several industries have woken up and took the call and started digitizing so many things, not just monetary transactions, but it served as a huge wake-up call for digitizing so many of their practices, and I think it wouldn't have been so easily possible. The country wouldn't have accelerated this adoption the rate at which it has done in the last few months if not for demonetization.
You also look at HR and HR staffing solutions. How can companies benefit by tie-ups with you? And also talk to us about small companies, how they can perhaps benefit by having a HR solution like the one you offer.
Yes, there is a lot of value Zeta adds to HR and HR professionals in general, irrespective of the size of the company. A lot of work related to HR from the time an employee joins a company till the time the employee leaves a company. There are so many touch points with the company that are completely paper driven, and there are so many such touch points which have monetary transactions. All of them can be fully digitized with Zeta. For example, we have one product we call as Zeta Optima, which is about digitizing entire payroll related tax benefits. So you have your HRAs today. To claim a HRA benefit, you have a lot of paperwork that you need to give, evidences that you need to give that you indeed paid the rent. Similarly, if you are just talking about a medical allowance that the company has given, which is tax exempted under Income Tax Act, to claim that there is a lot of paperwork that is involved. And what we have done with Zeta is that, okay, given that we know when a user has transacted, okay, we are able to connect that information to the company's payroll systems, accounting systems, and thereby completely eliminate the need for paper in the entire process.
Are you able to customize these solutions and offerings, Ramki, depending of course on the industry, the location of the company, etc.? Just how much of customization is available? Talk to our viewers who might have that question.
Absolutely. I mean, when you just look at enterprise customers and ranging from startup to companies which employ as large as 2 lakh employees, okay, the requirements are quite varied, and you are also right that the requirements vary from industry to industry, not only by size of the company. So it is never one size fits all. You just definitely have to deliver a solution that meets the expectations and the policies and frameworks of each corporate, and we have done a lot of work on that. Customization is actually one of the key elements for any enterprise software.
How are you tapping the growth of mobile in tier 2 and tier 3 towns, and what specific solutions do you think these areas need? Does a solution like yours work primarily in a tier 1 or a metro city? That's my question essentially.
Well, fortunately for us, when we just started, we know that we are very India focused, and we are, I mean, me being in India for all these years, I'm very aware of how a Indian customer, the realities of the Indian customers, the non-availability of internet and not so much savviness in adoption of mobile technology and the vernacular languages that we have. All of these are pretty much given. I mean, is a day one understanding of our country and of our market. So what we have done is that, okay, we build the solutions in a way that works without taking a lot of dependency on internet availability, without taking a dependency on a lot of high level of education of the individual who is using it. So we have built a tremendous number of solutions which don't depend on a high technology adoption, at the same time which can give a good benefit for a mobile user. Okay, so we support that continuum, that is like a user can start with or without mobile phone, with or without education, with or without internet, and we are able to start from such kind of a user to all the way to someone who is very sophisticated and probably sees at his mobile screen probably 200 to 300 times a day. So we are able to cater to all of them and are able to deliver a solution that encompasses all these employees of an organization. So that's one of the key elements that we incorporated into our solutions. And to reiterate, our solutions work in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and anywhere, so there is no limitation in reach of our solution.
What's next in the radar for you, say in the next 2-3 years? What is sort of the consolidation and growth looking like in this space, Ramki?
Actually, I think the industry is just starting. Okay, so I'm not too sure that there is going to be a lot of consolidation already. There may be a lot of growth that we will be seeing, and several players will be growing. So I don't see this as a time for consolidation as yet. And for us, I think the journey has just begun. We are just 2 years into the market, and actually 1 year into selling our products and services, and we've been able to cater to over 1,300 corporate customers so far. That's, I think, the kind of largest growth in this sector so far, and we do intend to eye for bigger numbers in the next few years. So we are fully focused on growth, and I don't think we are looking at any such consolidation kind of exercises right now.
Ramki, thank you very much for speaking with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow. Time for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you a segment on the early education market here in India. On the other side, on Leader Focus, do stay tuned.